Hello and welcome to Scottish Football Matters with myself, Lorenzo, and my good friend Murray.
All right.
Tonight, this is like a reaction pod to the Scotland national team's squad for the World Cup this summer. We'll be doing more like this throughout the summer when signings get made for teams and all that, and we'll mini pods like this throughout the summer when there's no football on, just to keep people informed and updated.
Yep.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I mean, obviously.
Would you make it a squad?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't think there was any massive surprises, and but I do think there's a few people that can feel hard done by. The ones that come to mind feeling hard done by would be Scott Bain, because let's be honest, the other three keepers that have been chosen, Gordon. Well, let's go through the squad just in case anyone doesn't know it. So the goalkeepers are Gordon, Gunn, and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Your defenders are the right back options are Patterson, Ralston, and Hickey. Your left backs are Robertson and Tierney. Your centre backs are Hanley, Hendry, Hyam, McKenna, and Suter. Your midfield options are Christie, Ferguson, Gilmore, McGinn, McLean, McTominay. Your kind of wingers are Curtis and Gannon Doak. And your striker options are Adams, Dykes, Shankland, Hurst, and Ross Stewart. So, to me, my first sort of reaction was that, goalkeeper-wise, while I can't argue that they are the best three goalkeepers we have available, they've played 6 games.
That's poor,
not including Scotland games. Obviously, I'm just on about club games. They've played 6 games between them this year, and whereas Scott Bain has played pretty much maybe 30 odd games for Falkirk. But at the same time, do I think Bain's as good as the other three? No, probably I don't. And I'm not being harsh on Scott Bain, I just mean ability wise. But I think
in terms of game time,
I think you can feel hard done by in terms of he's actually played every week.
Aye, definitely.
But I think, let's be honest, it's a position that Scotland need to address because Craig Gordon's 43, for fuck's sake. I mean,
I know. And he'll be retiring probably after the World Cup, I'd imagine.
Obviously, Liam Kelly and Angus Gunn really need to look at their situations in the summer and be at clubs where they're playing. I mean, Liam Kelly's a difficult one because obviously he knows his role at Rangers. His role is just to be Scottish and be and be a number for European squads. But Angus Gunn, I felt he was third choice at Nottingham Forest most of the year, and you're like, he could have went out on loan.
Aye.
But
more game time.
I do think the likelihood is that Gunn will start for me, backed up by Gordon, then Kelly. So onto the defence. I don't think. Let's start left back. I don't think we can any arguments. Right, Robertson and Tierney are the best two options.
Definitely.
I don't think anyone can argue with that. Right back, I do think our best two right backs, Hickey and Patterson, are there. Ralston's there to back them up purely for fitness reasons, because let's be honest, Hickey and Patterson have had
a lot of injury problems.
More than their fair share of injuries. Centre back worries me.
Hanley,
Hendry, Hyam, McKenna, and Suter. I think as a 5, that doesn't scream clean sheets.
No, but you'd imagine McKenna and Suter will be the starters. I can't imagine the other ones.
Yeah, I think you'd never rule out Hanley with Steve Clarke in charge.
I forgot. Hanley normally gets a game all the time, doesn't he?
But I would go with McKenna and Suter. I think when they play together, there's a good balance of the left foot, right foot. They can both kind of pass the ball quite well. They're more siege defenders than they are sort of start. But I think they're good at backs to the wall, and I think, let's be honest, Scotland are going to need to be. In terms of the players in defence that I think are harsh to miss out, it would be Stephen Welsh.
I think Welsh at Motherwell. Yeah, and the boy at Hearts.
Yeah, Finlay. Hearts. I think I understood Halkett because Halkett got he got that injury. I mean, I do think Halkett was on his way to the squad. I really do. But
he would have been.
He done his Achilles, didn't he? And I think Ross McCrory can count himself a wee bit unlucky just because he's one of those utility players that can cover right back, centre mid, and I could have understood if he'd went over Ralston, but I think he's maybe just went with familiarity and he knows what Ralston can do.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the
and if I'm honest, I think Ralston is a better right back.
I think we've both
McCrory,
I think we're both agreed though that the midfield looks okay, apart from one omission that I'm a bit surprised about, and so are you. Lennon
Yeah.
Miller, why do you think he didn't get included in the squad?
Mainly because he's not as good as the 10s we have, which are McTominay and Christie and McGinn. I think it's, and I think it's telling, as good as I think he is, right? Every time he's in the squad, he doesn't get brought on.
It's weird, and he's a big player as well.
You know, I think Connor Barnes, another one who's been in a lot of squads but doesn't get used, and I think it's no disrespect to the two of those players, but I just think there's levels. And
I mean,
unfortunately, is Barron as good as a Gilmore? No, he's not.
I'm maybe a wee bit surprised. Well, no surprised as such, but I'm a bit annoyed that maybe James Forrest wasn't taken for his experience.
Well, I think the one thing I could say about in praise of Steve Clarke is he's found someone who is as like for like as Ben Gannon-Doak as he can in Finlay Curtis, as in young, fearless.
But you do need that bit of experience in there as well, Murray. That's why I was saying that.
I agree, but I think the rest of the midfield is packed with experience. You know, McGinn, Christie, McTominay, Gilmore. I don't think that. I think as much as Forrest has had a good end to the season, I think again it was telling that at the last Euros he got picked, but he didn't get used. So
should have get used though. We all know that.
For me, I think we both pointed out when Doak got injured against Denmark, we lost any sort of pace. So while I don't think Finlay Curtis will start games, I think he's there to finish games because you sometimes just still need that bit of pace and that
I still think Forrest is slightly fast. I mean, I know he's older now, but he looks after himself. So
I've got no doubt about that. But I think it's more just a like for like. I don't think it's, and I think, I think it's in form. Form's a big thing. He scored 4 in his last 5. I think he's timed it well. Let's just put it that way. I think he's a player that will be in Scotland squads for years to come. I've got no doubt about that because he is talented. End products maybe not always there, but I don't think it's ever going to be at 19, 20. You know, he's
no doubt it.
But I think the midfield's really strong.
That is.
The strikers worries me. Again, it doesn't worry me in terms of ability, which is going to sound weird, right? Because I think Lyndon Dykes, if you're wanting somebody to hold the ball up and win free kicks and back in, excellent, right? Lawrence Shankland, he's a really good footballer. I think that gets underrated. He's hold up plays good. He can pass the ball.
He's a goal scorer.
Adams runs about. Ross Stewart's a big target man, can get goals.
Lyndon Dykes can hold the ball up as well.
Yeah,
he's good at
that. That's what I'm saying. I think all of them have quality, but none of them have real goals.
I can't say I know much about Ross Stewart because I haven't really saw much of him.
What you want from
or the other boy? What's the other boy?
Hurst
as well.
Ross Stewart. See when Ross Stewart was at Ross County all those years ago, I thought he was brilliant, and then he went down to Sunderland and done excellent. He has picked up a lot of injuries in his career, but there's a footballer there, a really good one, and I think he's a bit more of a backup to Dykes, I would say, which I would say in terms of just a physicality and be able to. Well, let's just say, I hope this isn't happening. Let's just say we're drawing with Haiti, right, with 10 minutes to go. You're wanting some physicality and to launch some balls into that box. That's where you'll use a Ross Stewart because he will get in about it. Hurst, for me, I don't want to be harsh because I don't watch enough of the Championship, but I've never been overly impressed.
I don't
And I
really know
think,
much about him, as I say. I don't
and I
watch it
think
either.
in terms of strikers that can feel hard done by, I would say McBurney down at Hull, just in terms of 18 goals this year. I would say Nisbet at Aberdeen.
Aye, Nisbet, definitely.
Um, I think they can feel hard done by because I don't think that any of these strikers have got more goals than them.
No, they haven't. I mean,
And that's the three areas that worry me are goalkeepers in terms of minutes, centre backs in
defence.
terms of not the defence. I think the
No,
right backs and left backs are brilliant,
centre backs.
and the strikers in terms of goal scoring. Like if you only get
Mhm.
one chance in a game, right, against Morocco or Brazil, do you think that they're going
Who
to
you
take
relying
it?
on? Who you relying on for that one chance?
None of them. I'm probably hoping it falls to McTominay or McGinn.
Aye, I would say
But
myself. Yeah.
let's quickly go through this then. So, how would you line up v Haiti? Because I think that's a different proposition than the other two. So, looking at this squad,
I would be gunman. Gun would win
this is
goals.
how I'd go. I'd go gun and goals. I'd go with a back four against Haiti because I want my back five to be more the Brazil game. My back four would be Robertson, McKenna, Suter, Hickey. I would go. My midfield would be for this one because I do want I want players who can get forward. I'd go Gilmore. Do you know what? I'd go quite attacking in this, right? You might laugh at this one. I would go.
You playing Christie?
No, not in this one. I play Christie. I'd play Christie in the other two.
Is he not attacking? He's attacking, isn't he?
No, but I'd want Christie, McGinn, and McTominay. I'd want as many goal threats in midfield as possible. This is Haiti. You need to go and win.
Aye, well that's it. You said that. You said well. You did say. I thought you said you weren't going to play Christie.
No, sorry. Gilmore, McGinn, and McTominay.
Oh, McTominay, right? So Christie's not getting a game.
And I would go, and I know it sounds bold, right? But I would go Gannon Doak, Curtis, and Shankland. And I wouldn't be starting Curtis in the other two games, right? Because let's be honest, it's Brazil and Morocco. There's levels. You're probably going to need to throw a Christie into your midfield or Ferguson and protect your midfield. Put McGinn out wide in those games.
Yep.
But see, against Haiti, it's a game that we should win. So
we should.
I'd love to see two wingers. And out of all the strikers, who do I think would get on the end of it? And I'd have to say Shankland.
Do you think that Clarke will play I'm an attacking lineup against Haiti? Do you think he'll go for it?
I think he has to, but if he doesn't, I'd be really worried because
I'd be disappointed if he doesn't.
If you're not going to play your attacking lineup against Haiti, you're certainly not going to do it against Morocco and Brazil.
He may as well chuck it.
How would you go then? Because you sort of just your goalie, you're going gun.
I'd be gun and goals. Yeah. The right back would be it wouldn't be Ralston. It would be Patterson and Tierney. No, Tierney, Robertson. What am I talking about? This is a back four we're talking about, obviously.
Yeah.
So the centre halves would be probably McKenna and who was the other one we mentioned?
Hanley, Hendry, Suter.
Probably. Do you know what? I'm going to go with what he would go with. I'll go Hanley because he'll go with him anyway. Yeah. In the midfield, it would be Doku on the wing. On the other side, it would be McGinn on one side and him on the other, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then in the middle, I would probably go with McTominay and maybe Ferguson. And up front, I don't think he'll start with Shankland. I think he's going to go with somebody like Adams or Dykes. Yeah, I'm being realistic. I mean, I'm not going for who I want to be in the team because it's unrealistic. You're going to try and have to pick what he's going to go for.
I think, to be honest, he'd probably play Christie or Ferguson, and Curtis would be on the bench, and McGinn would be wide. Because I think for me, when you play Morocco, I go to a back five, right? I go Gunn, I put Robertson, Tierney, McKenna, Suter, probably Patterson in a back five over Hickey. I'd go with Hickey in terms of the back four, but I think in back five, I want my fullbacks to get forward if they can, and I think Patterson's better.
Who's the other boy that used to play for Hibs that used to play for Scotland? Doesn't get a game now. Who was that? He was a centre half and all, but he was rotten. Who was that? Can't remember his name now.
Oh, Porteous.
Porteous, that's it.
American,
Aye.
My midfield against Morocco would be Christie, Ferguson, McTominay. I'd probably leave out Gilmore for that one. I'd bring Gilmore in for Brazil. So I think Morocco's going to be more of a battle, like as in you need to be physical.
We need to try and get a point at least against Morocco.
And then I think I would go, as you said, I'd go McGinn right, Gannon Doak left, and then for Morocco, I think you need to be physical, so that's where I'd go with Dykes.
Aye.
Maybe against Brazil would be a bit different. Against Brazil, I'd bring in Gilmore for Ferguson because when you get the ball, you need to keep the ball, and Gilmore's our best footballer in terms of ball retention. And then in that kind of game, I would maybe start with Adams. I might actually start 3 different strikers in 3 different games.
He probably will.
Because I don't think any of them are, are starter worthy, if I'm honest. But they're all going to get their bits. But I think it's an interesting squad, and it's a squad that
hopefully none of them get injured and have to be replaced by anybody late on.
It'll be interesting to see who's on this backup list, because I'm sure he'll have 6 or 7.
I'd imagine Welsh would be on the backup list at Motherwell, and you the boy Finlay at Hearts as well.
It really depends how who's kicking about. I mean,
because some backup strikers have you got? I don't really know.
I think that's where you do. I think.
Well, Nisbet at Aberdeen, but outside of that, who else is there?
Yeah. I think you're talking about McBurney or maybe a youth striker, because he might put some youths on this list because maybe they'll jump in a bit easier. But I don't know. I think it's I can't say that any of them don't deserve it, but I just think I do feel bad for a few.
Oh, some of them, definitely. There is a few that should. Lightning Miller, for instance, for me.
And that even though I'm not starting players like Kenny McLean and Jack Hendry, I think they'll have a part to play because, with 10 minutes to go, if you're winning a game or drawing a game, you bring on a Kenny McLean to help you see it out. A Jack Hendry might come on when you've got a back 4 and you want to go to a back 5 to help see it out, because he's pretty quick, Hendry. I'd say he's maybe our quickest centre back.
I'm just looking at that midfield and I'm thinking, who would you have taken out to put Lennon Miller in if you were doing that?
I think the only option would be to have taken one of the strikers, Hurst or Stewart, out.
Right.
I don't know that you need 5 strikers when none of them are that good.
Because I was looking at the midfield and I wouldn't have taken any of the midfield out because you need all of them.
Use more. I think if you were going to go with a Lennon Miller or a Conor Barron or who's the boy Andy Irvine, who's been in recent squads, if you're going to go with them, it'd be Hurst or Stewart's place.
Aye.
Because
striker's place.
I don't really know. I mean, be honest, who do you think is most likely to get you goals? I mean, it is probably you're talking a McTominay or a
McGinn, I'd say. Aye, McGinn and McTominay.
And I think Ferguson, Christie can certainly do things with set pieces.
Dykes has chipped in with a few goals and all, but he's not prolific.
And I think there's so much pressure on young Gannon Doak and Curtis to create, because we're not a massively creative team.
No, we're not.
But I do think that I always hope when you get a 26-man squad that everyone I mean, obviously not the keepers, right? But I hope that everyone gets minutes. Aye, because it's an interesting looking squad, and I think Steve Clarke in his defence, right? He's loyal, which can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing.
It can be too loyal as well, though.
Yeah, but I do think with this, he's been bold, right? Because when you look at it, right, it is quite an attacking squad. When you look at that midfield, right, there's no many defensive players in that midfield. You look at Gilmore, fair enough. Kenny McLean. But beyond that, the rest of them are kind of goal threats, aren't they? I mean, Christie, Curtis, Ferguson, Gannon, Doak, McGinn, McTominay are all goal threats. So
they could all chip in with a goal if they were.
that's what I'm saying.
Fun,
like,
I suppose.
So I suppose, to be fair, we do criticise Clarke for being too negative, but I think for a 26-man squad, he has got as many attacking options as he could put in there.
Aye, for the midfield anyway.
So certainly fair play. And going with 5 strikers, I wouldn't have personally.
Maybe he's went with a 5th striker in case there's an injury, and then he can, and then he'll maybe add another midfielder. I don't know.
No, I think he's went with 5 strikers because he doesn't think any of them are good enough.
Why are you picking the 5 strikers if you don't think they're good enough? It's just crazy.
Because it's not like England, right, where you've got a Kane who's a guaranteed starter. So I think what he's looking for is as many options as possible. Do you get what I mean? That's what I mean by he's looking for. Adams can run the channels. Shankland can drop into a 10. Dykes can be a battering ram. So can Stewart. Hurst is more of a Shanklandy type.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just looking for different options, as many as possible, because none of them are a guaranteed starter.
That's right.
So, but the 2 friendlies against Curacao and Bolivia will be interesting because I think he has to go 2 up front in both games.
He'll have to experiment a bit.
Or at least
try a formation out that he would try against Haiti, basically.
Because Haiti's the key game. Haiti's the key game. Get your 3 points and then you've got a chance, because that might be enough.
Aye. And then try and get a point in the other 2 games.
But even if you don't get a point, as long as you don't get battered, if you lose by a goal in the other 2 games, 3 points might be enough to get you the 3rd place.
Easier said than done, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. But I don't think that. I looked at Brazil's squad. Did you see Brazil's squad?
No, I've not looked.
I didn't think it was great. Like, I mean, obviously there's great players, right? But this is the Brazil squad. There is great players, right? So
Neymar won't be in it. He's too old now.
No, Neymar's in it.
Is he?
Neymar,
he's about 34 or 35.
We left out João Pedro, who's had a good season.
Casemiro, is he in it for Man United?
Yep. It's quite an old squad, I'll be honest. Right, this is the squad. Just getting out. I mean, there's no Richarlison, no.
I was going to say, is he in it as well?
Right, so their goalkeepers are Alisson, Ederson, and Weverton. I don't know Weverton, but we know Alisson and
Joe Linton. Is he in the squad?
No. Your defenders are Marquinhos, Gabriel. They're both top quality at Arsenal and PSG. Gleason, Bremer, Leo Pereira, Roger Ibanez, Wesley. Wesley's he's an attacking fullback, but he's no great. Danilo, Alexandro, Douglas Santos. Midfield, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, Fabinho, Danilo, Lucas Paqueta.
Danilo?
Not that one.
I was wondering.
A good one. Vinny Jr., Rafinha, Cunha, Luis Henrique, Martinelli, Neymar, Endrick, Rayan, and Igor Thiago. I don't think it's. I look at that.
Cunha, Man United, Cunha.
Yeah, Cunha's it. I mean, they've got good players, right? But I don't look at that and go, that's scary. I mean, I think obviously Vinny Jr. when he plays well is amazing, right? But
he's good.
But I look at the rest and I go, Endrick hasn't really done it at Real Madrid. I know he went to Lyon and did okay.
They're always going to be good, aren't they?
Rayan came to Bournemouth, and I know he keeps Gannon Doak out the team, but he's not massively better so far.
We always get Brazil, don't we? Every World Cup we're in, we always get them.
I just look at. I've never been I know I might shoot myself in the foot here, but I've never been massively impressed by Martinelli at Arsenal. I've always looked at him and went, he's all right. But, I just look at it and I go, there's no, obviously you're not going to get Ronaldinho's anymore, but there's no one there that I go, oh my God, I hope they're injured.
I'm pretty sure 4 out of the last 5 World Cups that we've been in, we've had Brazil in 4 of the groups. Because I don't think we had them in 1986. I think we had them in 82, we had them in 1990, and we had them in 1998, and we've got them again.
But you know what? That's what the World Cup's about. It's about playing the big teams, and
I know, but we always seem to get stuck with Brazil, don't we?
but I think of all of those years, this is the weakest Brazil.
We don't know that yet.
I think we do. Even if they go far, this is still the weakest. I mean, you compare those years. I mean,
I know.
This is a Brazil. But do you know the only thing that Brazil have got going for them? Their manager. Ancelotti's top quality.
He's a top drawer manager, eh?
And maybe having that sort of Italian, who knows how to win game. I don't think it'll be very Brazilian though.
Catenaccio.
I don't think he'll do the whole 3-4-0s. I don't see them beating teams with more than a couple of goals.
Oh well, wait a minute. Do you know how they'll hammer Haiti?
Maybe Haiti, but I just mean I don't see them beating Morocco.
That's the thing. Everybody will beat Haiti, I'm imagining. I'm hoping Scotland can do it. But
yeah,
it depends. It'll come down to how many goals you score against them, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Scotland would need to beat them by at least 3. I think to be comfortable. For me to feel quite confident of getting to the playoffs, you'd need a positive goal difference. So if you lost the other 2 games by 1 goal, you would still have a +1. That could be good. But I don't want to be worrying about other people's scores. I just want to get 4 points, and I want to finish top 2. I do, and that's what we should be aiming for.
But if we can, then we'll need to settle for 3rd, and hopefully it'll get us through.
Yeah, and the scenarios where we
bigger World Cup now, innit? It's bigger, more teams.
Scenarios where we could get Mexico in the last 32 in Mexico. That'd be fun.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
There's certain scenarios where we get
Julian Araujo.
There's another scenario where we can get England in the last 16.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be a fun one. But you know what? I think we need to just be positive. It's a positive squad. And let's be honest, there could be changes. There could be injuries between now and then. You always end up getting 1 or 2 who end up picking up injuries. So
that happens. Unfortunately, that happens.
Hopefully for Scotland, it's McGinn comes through tomorrow night well, because I'm not his biggest fan, but when he pulls on a Scotland jersey, he gives everything.
But if anybody's going to get injured, you'd prefer it to be somebody that wasn't going to really get a game. No, a starter anyway.
But obviously, McGinn's got a game tomorrow, isn't he, for Aston Villa in the Europa League final.
Mm-hmm.
And the Premiership finishes on Sunday.
At the weekend. And Champions League final, is that the following week?
Yeah. Although who's going to be on that? That's Arsenal and PSG.
Aye.
PSG. So hopefully some of the Brazilians like Marquinhos and Martinelli get injuries.
Wishful thinking, eh?
No. But no, I think let's just be positive, and we'll I think in terms of Scotland, we'll maybe do a wee pod reviewing one of the friendlies, and then we'll obviously when it kicks off, it's going to be fun.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Don't know that we're going to do any live ones, but you never know.
It depends on the time it's at, right enough.
I think the Morocco one's a Friday night at 11, so I think that's a chance. I think there's a chance that we go on late for that one. Can watch us snore.
Falling asleep. Aye, definitely.
But I think Brazil's a Wednesday into a Thursday or something. I'm just like, no, can't do that.
That's the last group game anyway.
That's a finish and go to bed and be glad you're working from home the next day.
Aye, exactly.
But the first one's a Saturday night into a Sunday, but 2 a.m.'s a bit late to be starting that.
I'd have preferred that to have been about 11 o'clock or something, or 10 o'clock.
But England got jammy. England's games are at 9 and 10.
I know why that is, though, because it's to suit them. So they can go to pubs and watch the games and all that. They're not interested in Scotland.
But I thought you'd have liked to think the Brazil one could have got a bit of an
earlier kick-off.
But it is what it is. Let's bring it on, and if there's any changes, we'll obviously, as Linda said, we'll do some pods over the next few weeks with updates and that.
Aye, definitely.
Right, well, I'll see you later, and I'm on to Scotland.
I'm on to Scotland, eh? Right. See you later.
Cool. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.